Generally speaking, leaders really want to be the best leaders they can be. They want their teams to perform as high as possible. Sometimes this desire can lead towards micromanagement. Today we're going to talk about what is micromanagement and why is it so dangerous. People often complain that they don't like to be micromanaged. If you're a leader and you're wondering if you might be micromanaging your team without even realizing it, then today's video is going to give you some tips on how to help identify this, what causes it, and how you can start to try to shift those patterns. So micromanaging is really taking on responsibility beyond what is your responsibility. It starts to overstep into taking responsibility and control over the elements that are actually the employee's responsibility. So what can this look like on a day-to-day basis? It can look like anything from, for instance, rejecting any ideas that aren't yours. Let's say you're having a meeting, and anytime somebody makes a suggestion that doesn't fit exactly with your vision of how you want to proceed with a project, you may quickly dismiss those items away. It may look like checking in too frequently on your team. So you would give them some work to do, but then you check in on them so frequently that it interrupts their ability to get their work done. It may look like wanting too many details about all the minor steps that your employee is doing on a project. So obviously, as a leader, you want to oversee your employee's work and you have a responsibility to ensure that your employee is getting adequate support. But when that steps into watching over them to ensure that no mistakes are ever made, that's where we start to get a little bit more into the territory of micromanagement. And the reason that it's so dangerous is that it's incredibly stifling to employees. So although there's often good meaning or good intent behind a leader who has fallen into micromanagement, the danger is that it actually encourages the employee to be less involved, to be less engaged, because when somebody is checking up on your every move, it feels like they don't trust you. And when we don't feel that we're being trusted, then we aren't as invested in the projects we're on. So although we might think that checking in often and ensuring that all little pieces of a project are going exactly as they're outlined and they're supposed to, it actually has a backfiring effect. And it really does not get to the intended outcome. The other thing is that as a leader, we need to give responsibility to our team and we need to leave them space to fail. We need to give them the opportunity to take steps in the wrong direction and figure that out and make steps to correct it. Now, they may need some guidance here, but if we don't always give our employees or don't ever give our employees a chance to figure out problems on their own, they're actually going to become increasingly dependent on you, which also means that your workload is going to become incredibly high as you need to approve every step of every project and you need to solve every little problem that comes up. So really, when we're looking at stepping away from micromanagement, if that's a goal of yours, one of the first things you can do is try to allow your employees to have a bit more responsibility and to have the responsibility for their errors as well. So you can certainly, this doesn't mean it has to be hands-off leadership entirely. There's a balance. You can still certainly discuss problems, but you also need to give employees a chance to figure some things out on their own, to make some missteps, and to figure out from that how to move forward better next time.